screw that. All right. Good morning. You didn't want to hear the rest of that song. I didn't. So I'm in kind of a mood, so you'll have to forgive me. Hold on. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Check 1, 2. Hey. All right. Good morning. Yes, we are early, Pigtail. I want to get this show on the road. I'm only 5, 6, 7 minutes early. Most people don't meander in. Sometimes it's weird. So if I use StreamYard while I'm setting it up, people will appear in the chat, even though there's been no notifications. I don't know how you guys are doing that, even though I haven't clicked go live yet. And then some people are like, oh, I didn't even get a notification. So who knows? Who cares? Anyways, yeah, I'm in a mood. You probably saw my Facebook post. So, but we'll get over it. We'll get through it. I got to sort some things out in my head. And once we do that, then we'll be all right. So, anyways, truck is gone. If you guys haven't subscribed to the Snorelord OG channel, you would have seen that. Man, that was, in my life, nothing is as simple as it seems or should be, which is probably good because it makes me I don't know, stronger, I guess, or just more prone to BS. But so the person that bought the truck was this guy that owns a dealership out in Mexico. Hold on. Everything looked legit. We agreed on a price. Half of it was going to be in a cashier's check. The other half was going to be pure cash. Now, I wanted all of it to be on a cashier's check because I didn't want any shenanigans. Like they show up and all of a sudden they're like, oh, we're short a couple of grand, but blah, blah. I didn't want to subject myself to that, but I guess that could always happen, right? So we wheel and deal and we finally get everything situated. And he goes, I'm sending my driver to you. He'll be here on Friday. So at that point, I finished dealing with that flatbed trailer. I didn't need the truck anymore. So Wednesday was a day of dealing with the ELD and cleaning the truck up, getting all the stickers off, and thank you, Like Trucking, for purchasing a portable heat gun. Man, that made they came off real easy. All right. Apparently, I got to mute the phone. Let's see. All right. So, anyways, so I get the ELD out. I get the truck cleaned up. My daughter had started to clean the truck for me. I was paying her to do it, and then she had a situation where she couldn't do it anymore. So it sat there, and yeah. So I was that became an adventure in and of itself as far as the cleaning of the truck or whatever. But finally got all that done. So got the ELD out, truck's cleaned up, it's ready to go. And the good news is, even though my APU wasn't running at the time, I got the battery trickle charger set up, had to protect it from the rain. And I did that well, and it still had a connection. So when I opened up the doors, the lights were still on. I was like, yes. And the truck started right up yesterday morning. So the guys finally show up. Now, here's the thing. Because they flew into Kansas City to pick up another truck, there was 2 guys here. They had to get an Uber all the way down from Kansas City to Springfield, which I don't know what that would have costed, but ouch, right? So they show up, they look the truck over, they take a bunch of pictures, they talk to their dude, the actual guy that's funding this. Everything's good to go. So now we're off to the bank. Go to the bank to verify the cashier's check and verify the cash. Make sure it's not counterfeit and let them count it. Let the bank count it, right? So they go like, oh, this is a Bank of America cashier's check. we can't verify this. I'm like, oh, gotta be kidding me. And they're like, and the way Bank of America is set up, they will not let me call to verify this. I'm like, okay. So now, because they're ready to just give me the check and the cash and leave, right? But I told them, I said, these are the circumstances that you're going to have to pay me. Is we're going to have to go to the bank to verify and count all this stuff. And they were fine with it, right? They were fine, but it definitely added like another hour and a half to this scenario because we get to my bank and they're like, oh, you got to go to Bank of America now. So I go to Bank of America and they're like, yeah, we can't cash this. Oh, well, can you verify that check's good? Yes. All right. So they couldn't catch it because it was made out to a business, not to me personally. So I had to go back to the other bank and finally deposit. They put a hold on it, but at least I know that the check was good, right? So all in all, it's something that should have taken like 30 minutes, took like an hour and a half. You know, my son was with me, you know, and you know, it was a whole thing, right? The guys could barely speak any English, you know, so you know, Google, thank God for Google, right? You know, hey, how do you say this and this in Spanish? And then I'd say it, and then I'd point it and let him read my phone. And it helped. You know, I've done that at shippers and receivers, you know, when the shipping clerk is like trying to tell the driver what to do. I'm like, let me get my phone. And I've done that. Hey, drop your trailer in door 104, you know, that kind of thing. So, but all in all, so the truck is gone. I videotaped them leaving. They had a heck of a time leaving the road because at that time the construction was pretty heavy. They had dump trucks, they had these big other trucks and then the bulldozers and everything. And so it took them a few minutes to get out of here, but they're happily on their way to Mexico and with a green truck that's no longer mine. And so yeah, so it feels weird. You know, I was a little sentimental, even though it's just a tool, it's just a piece of equipment. The fact that I don't have another one coming up is kind of intimidating. Hold on. Should have known better than to let a cat in. It's going to want right back out. So, at any rate, everybody's happy, and the transaction's been done. I'm gonna make a. I'm gonna pay off some bills, make a couple of frivolous purchases that I probably don't need, but I'm gonna do it anyways. We're going to a friend of mine's having a cancer benefit show, metal show, for his son tonight. We're gonna go there and bless those people. So that'll be good. But but the truck is gone. I'm still gonna use it for my props because I can and I will. And I'm not removing the trucker out of my name because I'm trucker by heart, right? Even before I was a trucker, I was a trucker. Like whenever the band would go on road gigs, I'm like, I'm the trucker guy, you know, because I lived and eat and breathed it because my dad was a truck driver back in the day. So those of you like, well, you got trucker? Well, get over yourself. So again, I'm in a mood, so bear with me, forgive me. I'm gonna try not to snap a little bit. So let's do some shout outs and then we'll go over the spot market stuff. But there's the story of the truck being gone. I did a short video on the Snorelord OG channel. Make sure you subscribe, check it out. If a moderator would mind putting the link in there, that would be great. And then I put up a short, which within 2 hours already had like 800 views, which I thought was blew my mind. So, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Every time I've put the truck in a short, it's done very well, regardless of which channel it's on. So people love seeing that truck. So, all right. So, Grafton, good morning. Don Schunger, good morning. Hello. Greg Zimmer, good morning, Steve. Truckers Anonymous, good morning, everybody. Pigtail, I am early. Yes. Alfalfa, what's up? Cheap Freight Hauler, good morning. Pigtail says in a mood. Good morning, everyone. I'll be listening in the background when I'm driving. Smart on you. Driving with John. Good deal, man. Hope you're doing well, John. Good morning, Shannon. Shannon and I talked yesterday. She loves hearing these words. She loves it when I say Shannon, Shannon, Shannon. So she's doing pretty good. She's on this big banger paying load, and she's going to be challenged here in the next week. So Grafton says LOL TK. Hey now. Pigtail, I was notified. Good deal. Flatbed Trucker, good morning. Good morning, Steve. While I'm sure selling your truck was emotionally more difficult than words can say, the positive is one step forward towards financial freedom. It's a big move. Congratulations. I agree with that wholeheartedly. All right, I'm done letting cats out. I agree with that wholeheartedly, and um, it. I guess there is some emotion there, and it. I'm dealing with some other emotions too, with something that's unrelated, but it's 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 been a heavy week. So let's just say that. It's coffee time for sure. Good morning. Rocket Van Life, aka Shadow Wolf. I found your hat. I still have it. I had a bin about yay big that had like about 15 hats in it, and it was in there. And so I have a special bin hat of hats that I've acquired over the years. I got like 3 sitting right here. I'm wearing one. I have a problem. I have a problem with hats, knives, and pew pews. So I can't stop. Oh, and CDs, obviously, right? Fate Trucking. Good morning. Sorry about that. No worries, Pigtail. Sterling. Good morning. Hey, I have a question for you, Sterling, that I'm going to ask for you privately. Something that I wonder if you could do for me. David Edwards. Good morning. TK, was the buyer Canadian Frank from Mexico? That's who bought mine. No, but I'm I was glad to talk to you about that and hear your story. And I talked to a couple other people that talked to that did the same thing. And but no, it was a different Mexican. Mexico is a pretty big country, so just burned myself on my coffee. That's good. My name is Nobody. Good morning. Hope you're doing well with your changes. Sterling. Thanks for the $12 super chat. Smart assness. Love it. Thank you. Once a trucker, always trucker. That's true. And look, I'm going check this out. I'm going to the Joplin Truck Show and I have cash. So you never know. Somebody, one of these old cab overs, I don't think I'm going to buy an old cab because I don't know how to work on it. Those trucks are for guys that know how to work on stuff like that truck that DIY bought, the Freightliner Classic. That's for guys that know, like him, that know how to work on that stuff. But I wouldn't mind having an older truck to maybe rescue my trailer if needed, and 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 just have as a good yard ornament that I know that the DEF isn't going to be affected. Something that'd be fun to drive around for a minute. So SST, what's up? So it's not like I'll never own a truck again, but the odds are pretty slim. But never say never. That's one thing I've learned about trucking and about life in general is never say never. Like one time I said, I'm never going to own a truck. Well, I own 2. So, trucking with T-Bone, good morning. SST, I think I said hi to you, but we're going to say hi again. You need to let the cat in so that you can hurry up and let them back out. I know. I'm just going to let them sit in the window and look miserable. These cats would be screwed if we didn't have a full window door kind of thing. Mr. Charles, morning. Morning, all. Hope all have a great day. Sorry. Reefer, what's up? Coffee and a smile. When is the truck show? So the Joplin Truck Show is happening now. Today, yeah, actually started yesterday. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So, and tomorrow at the end of the show will be the convoy that ends in Joplin, Missouri, downtown, and then it becomes a whole block party. And every time I've done that block party, it's been pretty cool. The wife and I are going down there. We'll probably leave here about noonish and look at all the trucks and actually we might try to go a little bit early, but then we might try to see the convoy. I would like to see the convoy because this has only happened every 2 years, and the convoy kind of gives you a reestablished faith in the trucking industry. It gives you faith that there are still good drivers out there that are courteous and have empathy and want to do good for the community. Sometimes a driver can forget that when you're sitting there in the fuel island for 30 minutes because no one will move up. Or you got that guy that parks his truck on the cat scale and you go out to confront him and he just does not care. In fact, they might get violent with you. When you're surrounded by nothing but that, going to this Joplin Truck Show will be good for your trucker soul. Trust me on this, which is probably why I need to go. Because part of me is like, I don't know if I want to go now, but part of me needs to go, needs to feel like I'm a part of this because I still am. I'm just not behind the steering wheel anymore. I got emotional when I sold the Templar. That was a loss to me. It really was. Didn't think it would be. Yeah, that was tough, man. And I get it. And even though your next truck was full of luxuries and comfortable, it probably just didn't feel the same, right? So the truck is more than a tool. It's a part-time home where you spend a lot of time. Nothing wrong with being a little emotional. This is true. It's a change. I mean, I've had the truck for 6 years, so paid it off in 4.5. So yeah, it's a little bit. I mean, I'd be lying if it's like, oh, I don't care about that truck. You know. But I also know that when it's time, it's time. Some people hold on to a truck until they've put like 300 grand into the damn thing, and it's not worth 15 grand. So, donations for DIY semi needs a new tie. Oh, that's funny. He has one and he used it. Wimpy, Wimpy. I'm gonna call you Wimpy. But um, anyways, let's go over some spot market stuff. So dispatch has been kind of light this week, and the stuff that I have dispatched was predominantly contract stuff. So I don't know what the spot's really doing. I worked on some short haul stuff with a client. Um, oh, I know, I forgot. Here we go. So as a truck driver, you are hated. Okay. As a truck driver, you're hated. Here's proof. Ready? I got this email this morning, and it led me to this beautiful website. Uber Freight and Wabi introduce. I don't know if I'm saying that right. God forbid if we spell anything that's worth reading. Obviously, it's not. Anyways, I'm going to keep that comment to myself. Introduce industry first autonomous truck deployment solution. Now, if you guys remember their auto truck, the OTTO trucks, here's what's funny about Uber, right? So when Uber first came onto the scene, within a year or two, they were already doing the auto autonomous truck. If you guys remember, a lot of the YouTubers were talking about how scary autonomous trucks were going to be. You know, I think Truckers Coach did a whole year of, because he was mad at Uber, a whole year of autonomous truck fear mongering, right? And and while it can be a threat, here's what you really need to look at. Okay, So what's interesting is Uber brought that auto truck to the truck show, and guess what? It wasn't an autonomous truck. It didn't even have the technology. It was literally a truck that had auto on it, OTTO, LLC. It was like it was just for show. And what they didn't realize, and what a lot of us educated them at the truck show, was that you realize that you're shoving this in drivers' faces that you want to replace them. How smart is that? That you want to that you're like, "Hey, look what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna replace you. Oh, look, it's in your face. I'm going to replace you. I want to replace you." And then they wonder why that was weird. Like, how do you not know that that's just a bad idea to flaunt that in people's faces? There's a lot of drivers that don't know what they would do if they weren't driving a truck. And so why would you flaunt that at a truck show? So, but they were there. They had a huge presence. They did the whole party. I mean, they were aggressively going after the market share, which they did at that time. And that fell apart. The auto truck fell apart, and they got rid of that. But now, obviously, they're partnering with somebody else. So let's read a little bit. Let's close that. Today marks. I'm not going to read this whole thing, okay? But let's see if I can zoom this in so I'm not squinting. Today marks an important milestone in the era of logistics. Uber Freight has announced a strategic partnership with Wabi, a global leader in generative AI and simulation for autonomous technology, to accelerate the safe deployment of AI powered autonomous trucks at scale. This agreement brings together Wabi's core technology, the Wabi Driver, with Uber Freight's vast logistics platform, marketplace technology, and expertise in autonomous trucking operations to deliver a turnkey driver as a service solution that will be the first of its kind. Sounds like a bunch of crap to me. Oh, did I say it out loud? I'm sorry. Basically, it goes on. The announcement comes at a time when innovation is needed in the logistics industry. The national supply chain is plagued by challenges, including an estimated 35% of miles being driven empty and looming shortage of truck drivers, expected to reach 160,000 by 2028. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, another government entity that hates you, reported that in 2019, large truck crashes accounted for more than 5,000 lives lost, and 87% of large truck crashes are caused by human error, according to historical data from the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. Autonomous trucks have a tremendous potential to address these issues in addition to increasing asset utilization, improving road safety, reducing carbon footprint, and positively reimaging the career outlook and quality of life for truck drivers. Carriers with Wabi driver enabled trucks will have the option to deploy their assets instantly and seamlessly on the Uber Freight network, taking advantage of continuously optimized routes as well as an ecosystem of partnerships with Transfer Hub, infrastructure, roadside assistance, and national maintenance providers. All right. So, from a entrepreneurial standpoint, you need to get in on those hub infrastructures, roadside assistance, and national maintenance providers. In other words, buy a lot of land that they can use as a hub to transfer the trailers, because this is coming. But see, when and how fast is coming, that's up for debate because a lot of these companies are starting to fail. But here's the deal. Let me get this microphone out of the way. It's the intent. That's what you have to look at. It's the intent. Remember in the automotive industry when the automotive makers would strike and strike and strike. Next thing you know, they got robots doing stuff that people used to do, like putting doors on or putting door handles on or putting the fenders on. Remember that? And they're going to use those crash statistics as a way to say, hey, we have the right. And of course, the normal person that doesn't realize what goes into moving a truck is going to be like, oh, yes, I don't want my kids to die in a car accident because of a truck. So, yeah, let's have robot trucks, you know? And so, and then you got truck drivers that will put on, they'll actually put stickers on their truck saying, hey, be careful. This driver is being forced to drive because he has an ELD. The most asinine sticker out there that literally says, hey, I'm too stupid to avoid doing something that's going to make me unsafe, that opens me up to a lawsuit because I'm admitting that I'm driving tired and I'm going to blame the ELD. Victim mentality. That's like these people that blame the GPS because they're on a walking path with their truck. Oh, I don't know why I'm on the beach sand. I mean, that's what the GPS said. It's the GPS's fault. It's Garmin's fault. It's Freightliner's fault. So now, CDN, I'm gonna highlight this comment, and I'm gonna get to the others. How many warehouses with tight, bad dock accesses are currently under renovation to make their facility autonomous friendly? None. Skilled, well-paid drivers will be required to back in. Now, I agree, but also disagree. Here's the deal, CDN. A lot of these intercity deliveries are transferring to warehouses outside. Perfect example, Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Chicago is now, a lot of stuff is in Bolingbrook, Aurora. So they're trying to get there, right? They're trying to push these warehouses outside the inner cities. Okay. But you are correct with skilled, well-paid drivers will be required to back in. That this is true. That's how you stand out, right? So this is a perfect example of, okay, so when Uber can, look, I've done a lot of Uber loads. I still use them on occasion. Okay. So this is not a knock against Uber, but there's a huge disconnect with these tech companies that have become brokerages and relying on the technology. Technology fails. And if you take out the human element, it makes it worse. For example, I literally had to have the person on the phone from Convoy. I literally had to have him on the phone and hand my phone to the receiving clerk or shipping clerk of a load I was picking up that they said they didn't have, to tell them directly that they don't have that load, because we had just wasted an hour and a half of email back and forth and was getting nowhere because they forget the human element. It's all just a bunch of blips on the screen to these people. What CDN does is personable brokering, right? Uber's not doing that. It's easier just to have the 3PL have 50 loads of water that need to be shipped today and putting it on the Uber, right? And so a lot of things get lost. And these people are going to invest in things that are frankly are about taking you out. Think about that. No one likes you. No one wants to do your job. Now, this part where it says about the truck driver shortage, if trucking companies treated their drivers good, they won't leave. It's a hard life. You got to deal with all the external stuff, and then you have trouble getting paid, and then you have trouble with your company trying to stay in business. And if you're an owner operator, what's going to take you out? The repairs, that $20,000 bill because they're just throwing parts at your DPF system without diagnosing it, bankrupting you slowly or like that. That's the trend I'm seeing. So therefore, Uber wants to be ahead of the curve here. And they're not alone. They're not the only ones. Okay. Let me go back to DIY's comment, and then I'll go back a little bit further. Brokerages that push AI tend to go bankrupt. Just saying, because it's literally the brokerage saying, "Hey, is there any way we can, kind of like it." So a brokerage that wants AI and autonomous trucks, they're trying to eliminate the middleman. Okay, just like drivers that want to eliminate brokers want to go directly to the source. Right? Everybody's trying to get rid of the middleman. Why? Because they want all the money for themselves. The guy I sold my truck to wrecked it. I still think about it. I'm more afraid of some of the drivers I see on the road these days, and that brings up a great point, cheap freight hauler. If will autonomous trucks sit there in the fuel island? Will they put their piss bottles out in the open? Will autonomous trucks leave their trash at the Walmart parking lot? Will they veer into my right lane because they're watching Netflix going down the road? Are they going to accidentally take their truck to down Cabbage, or not Cabbage, the Dragon's Tail there in Tennessee? Are they going to accidentally get on a footpath? I saw a video the other day. There's a great Instagram account called Ghost of Trucker. I don't know who it is. It's somebody that's at Super Ego, but they have. There was a truck in a riverbed, like in a dry riverbed. Like how did that even happen? Now, autonomous vehicles, are they perfect? No, but for every mistake they make, they're going to learn from that. I know people that have wrecked trucks 4 or 5 times and don't learn, so therefore they get out of the business. So the public's going to be screaming for this to happen because of what our industry has become. If you're ever having a bad day in the trucking industry, just play Brothers of the Highway by Tony Justice featuring Aaron Tipping. It will remind you that why trucking is important. Oh, I believe it's important. They just want to take out the good people. Good morning, everybody. Have a great day with both feet. Thank you. The notion of autonomous trucks is cute. But if someone attempts it, I'm going into the freight theft business. Sterling agrees. Human error on our part or four-wheeler part, right? Asphalt pirates unite. Yeah, but they also consider a tire blowout a human error, so those numbers are trash. But I agree, it is an agenda. That's the thing. Look, I'm going to say this again. I don't care if you think autonomous trucks are a reality or not, or could become a reality. Okay, that's not the important part because it could be 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now. I'm not going to care. Okay. However, it's the intent. You're seeing the intent, and the government's all behind it. And so you have to realize, you have to wonder, what is the intent of that intent? What's the goal? What's the agenda? It's about control. I know we're getting a little woo woo here, but again, like I've said before, I'm in a mood. Alfalfa agrees numbers are junk. CDN FedEx has renovated most hubs on the West Coast to be autonomous friendly, and the yard goats are being monitored with driver monitoring and data logging. Snorelord, so this is not, they'll just have autonomous yard dogs that'll basically be a flat battery with wheels that can turn in any direction. Don't just be a drop yard across the street or nearby. So trucking is turning into final mile service from warehouse on perimeter of city to final warehouse in middle of city. Autonomous will be mega carriers with volume, still lots of service. Yes, I agree with that. Look, I'm not on this camp that autonomous trucks are taking all your jobs, okay? I'm not on that camp. Trust me, don't get me wrong on this. What I'm saying is there's an intention to do it. And that intention should be, you should be paying attention to. Autonomous will happen, but many shippers not willing to take on higher freight rates. Autonomous trucks running on batteries, what is the cost? It will be graduated CN. I will say in 10 years, depending on economic variables, maybe war will be autonomous trucks operating on certain routes for mega companies, Costco, Walmart, Pepsi, etc. Thank you, Snorelord, for affirming my plan to drive for company for 4 to 5 years before thinking about owner operator. Yes, Alfalfa, that is a great plan. That's what I suggest to everybody. Be a truck driver for 5 years before you decide to make a truck payment. That's what I did. That's what most people should do, because you're going to see the ins and outs of everything. Now, if all you're doing is running from, I don't know, Houston to Dallas for 5 years, well, you still got a lot that you're not gonna know when you buy a truck. But if you've been doing all 48 states or a huge area, regional area, then just know what you're getting into. And I'm going to do a video. I meant to do it while I still had the truck, but obviously I'm not. But do a video like questions you should ask yourself before you become an owner operator. When I was a fuel hauler, there was a guy that had two rollovers in the same intersection, still hauling gas. Guess he didn't learn after the first roll. I'm working remotely for the next several days. Only have a Kerrigan, but not fan. Max 10-ounce cup. So I'm. Oh. You're probably talking about that coffee maker, 10-ounce cup. So I make an 8-ounce, and I reuse the same K cup with 6-ounce. That's a cup of coffee. Yeah, that's a good method. I do that with the hotel stuff. That's utterly ridiculous. I say if the FMCSA actually enforced their regulations and made sure training was involved just like OSHA does, steering wheel holders ruin the road. The more that we leave trash in the parking lots, the more that we veer into the right lane, the more that people are caught doing live streams while driving and blatantly post that, the more fuel you're going to give these companies to allow them to take us out. We, as truck drivers, are our own worst enemy. For every good one, there's a few bad ones, right? Don't believe me? Look at all the YouTube channels that do nothing but show how badly drivers are driving out there. Bonehead truckers. That guy used to be a vlogger. That guy used to be in a truck. Now he doesn't have to drive a truck anymore. All he does is show videos of people not able to drive their trucks or being rude. And now he can sit at home and collect the money. That's how much bad driving there is out there. Four to 5 years, you will be very educated and able to overcome all the crazy stuff. I'm trying. Dying Bree, good morning. How are you, sir? So, anyways, again, I apologize. I'm in a mood. So let's do some low board stuff. Let's do some boring low board stuff. Because isn't that what you're here for? Is the bore lord. Okay, let's put this banner on just to annoy everybody. Thanks for everybody that supports the channel, by the way. Make sure you always caught doing something professional or drive at night like I do. There you, there you go. Straight Sterling Great Insight. There are one or two Amazon warehouses that are fully automated, not seeing warehouses under renovation. I don't know. I guess previously most people used to think truck drivers were hard working blue collar people. Now they think they're a joke. Why? Because we're showing that. Look, the the Historical Trucking Society has some really great old videos of the gone yesteryear days of trucking. And now you think it's gone, but if you go to a show like the Joplin Truck Show, the Guilty by Association Truck Show, you will see that it's not gone. The spirit is still there. The spirit of community, the spirit of courtesy, the spirit of pride, of loving what you do and how you do it in a truck. That's still there. But these corporations want to destroy that. And every time you see somebody go up the dragon tail, or you see somebody in a riverbed, or you see somebody take out 15 signposts because they've got a sprint axle in a neighborhood that's not even meant for pickups. Every time you see that, that is one knock against the spirit of trucking. Every single time. Don, you are late. You're super late because I started early. 53 reefer Yakima to Chicago or Atlanta. It's all right. Let's do this here. Let's see. Find loads. Yakima to, let's just do, instead of the two cities, let's do states. We can click Chicago. Well, no. Let's take that out. Let's do this here. States. We'll do Illinois and we'll do Georgia. How's that? Apply. Reefer for today. We'll do today, tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's Saturday, so let's do Monday as well. For reefer, we've already gone reefer from the last time you wanted me to look up something. All right. There's there's literally one load, dude. East Wenatchee. Is that how I say that? To Forest Park. Two extra stops. They don't have a price on it. They're hoping that you don't have a price. Cargo Chief's got it 63.58. Raycheck's got it 49.9. So you gotta be careful with that. But I would ask for more because you're going into not a great area. And you got to make sure that your profit margin covers the loss that you will have on the next load. A lot of like, here's Fife to Champaign for Tuesday. Or no, it says September 22nd. Maybe that's outside of the Chicago realm. I don't know why that's on the similar loads, to be honest with you. Toys. There's some of your Christmas rate everybody's salivating over. They got a pretty. They got a rate of $1.41 on that. $1.79 to go to Georgia and $1.40 to go to Illinois. This is all van stuff. That's why it's in the similar loads. It's all van stuff. So you got Linden, Washington to Morris, Illinois. That's a reefer load. Now, Morris, Illinois, we all know it's going to be Costco. One of my favorite Costco's to deliver because you got a truck stop literally across the street. Two of them, actually. So there's your results, Sterling. Thank you for the super chat. All right. Maybe I should start making training videos in general for new CDL holders. I just need somebody to translate in Spanish also. Yep, you can teach people how to do live streaming while going down the road. Who cares what people think of us? If you need validation from civilians, then you need to hang up your keys. Look, I'm one of the last people that say I care about what others think, right? But here's the thing. It's not that I care about what people think. It's about how they will use the public's perception of us to manipulate their emotions so this is easier to do. Does that make sense? I don't care what other people think. I mean, I want to show pride. I want to show, I'm not going to leave, any trash or anything around. I'm going to try to stay in my lane. But when I can help, I will. When I'm at the field line, I'll move up. I don't sit there and stop on the cat scale. I don't sit there and tailgate cars 5 feet from their bumper because they're in my way. And there's a lot more of that going on. Even with all the trucks, a lot of the trucks having collision mitigation systems. And people are stupid enough to brake check you. So I don't even know why you put yourself in that situation anyways. So, but it's not that I care what other people think, is the government's going to care what other people think, and they're going to use that to manipulate the system. Channel 19, good morning. Dying Breed, congratulations on the sale of the truck. It's nice to see a plan play out or fake it till you make it. Either way, I'm excited for the next journey. I think it's a little bit of both, Dying Breed. CB says Yakima to Atlanta during apple season is always a banger. It's the immigrants who give this industry a bad name. They don't respect America. I'll agree with that, John. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Prosser to Greenville, South Carolina, 7K. Nice. I have an old friend that wants me to help him get into the reefer game. Plus, I need verification that rates are still poo. Thank you, Snorelord. Todd, what's up? You are here. Sterling, find a good Bakersfield produce broker, and everything in the reefer game gets pretty easy. There you go. Reefer says, "Yo, Todd." All my good produce brokers got taken over by C.H. Robinson. Sad, says Sterling. HMI just dropped a video about an Oklahoma State trooper that murdered a trucker. So far, nothing has happened to the trooper. We're not valued anymore. Is that what that was? I wonder what happened. I'm still getting ball busted on that. I guess I could point to everybody else like bigger channels, but I'll own it. Look, you're opening yourself to a lot of liability. It could be 5 years from now. Something happens. They're going to find that video. And that's just it. It's not me. I don't make the rules. Lawyers love money, and they love trucking companies that have money. They love that. So you got to be careful with that. Despite all current available technology, we still have driver wait times, drivers sitting in line for hours at ports and rail yards. This needs to be fixed ASAP. I agree. That's one of the biggest heartaches of being a truck driver is the colossal lack of respect and wait and wasting of my time. Of course, a lot of people don't value their own time either. They're on Facebook, 6 hours a day, you know, or they're watching YouTube instead of reading the book or tracking their numbers. All they really announced was the driver had no weapons and the trooper shot him. They're trying to make it the trucker's fault. Well, unless he blatantly was beating him up or tried to go for his weapon, if he was unarmed, yeah. So the badge cam will come out on that, WCF Invader. That's a fact. I took them down already. As far as the lawyer aspect, the only way you're not going to get sued is by not driving at this point. Warner proves that. I know people that have had fatality accidents that were never sued because everything was on the up and up and it was the car's fault. So it is still possible, but a lawyer can get those old videos. So all they got to do is get your cell phone records. They have a device that they can actually plug into your phone to see what you were using at what time. Now, it's been deemed unconstitutional, so they haven't been able to use it yet, but it's there. It exists. I've seen it. The trucker was sitting in a semi in the driver's seat when he was shot and killed. Wow. I'm going to have to watch that story, see what really happened, Don. That's crazy. All right. Let's do Van. Oh, Mrs. A is in here. He was still in the cab from what I read, so whatever he was saying, if he didn't have a gun, the trooper was not in immediate danger from him. That's true. Yeah. All right. So here's for Van. All these states have been yellow for a while. California's green, but not the best. Same thing with Florida. New York, PA. Let's take a look at PA. I haven't looked at PA in a while. Let's see what it looks like coming out. Let's see. Let's sort by highest rate. Let's see what the long stuff's looking like. There we go. Almost like clockwork. I don't know what it is. It's like the internet goes, oh, Steve. All right. We're back. All right. All right. I've set this on highest rate in Pennsylvania. Let's do this again. Obviously, it didn't take. There we go. $1.50 to go to California. $1.62 to go to Oregon out of Pennsylvania. $1.41. See, someone let the cat in, and now it wants it back out. All right, sorry. $1.57 to go to Vegas. A lot of loads going to Vegas there. In the land of sin. Everybody wants to go west out of Pennsylvania. That's where they're pushing you. So obviously the stuff that goes to Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, they are, well, let's check the short range here. So let's go to highest rate per mile. Oh, we got 703 a mile to go from Easton, PA to South Brunswick. Yeah, New Jersey for $450. 64 miles. 550, 996. Here's a good one. Hey, well, that's why it's so high. So let's take a look at this. Hazel Township. Oh my gosh. It's got 3 stops: College Point, New York, Maspeth, New York, and Brooklyn, New York. And they're at 996. Okay, it's going to take you literally all day to do that, number one. But let's look at the tolls on that. $165 in tolls. Now, according to this profit calculator I got set up, after fuel and tolls and your dispatch fee, you're going to make $510 for the day with a lot of aggravation and risk. Now, if you live up there, you live in Brooklyn, you know the game, then you're this probably you're not worried about it. But for a newbie, it's a lot of work for $510. If you're willing to do it, you're going to make some money. But if you're not, you're gonna pass this by, or you're going to know what's involved and you're going to negotiate a little bit higher. See, Carlisle to Northeast Maryland, 557 mile, 540. But all these short hauls are about 400, $500. Here's one for 792 going to Virginia. So you'd want to look at the back haul out of Virginia. 1,800 pounds, so it's light. Medical supplies, those are usually pretty easy pickup and deliveries. And they're already a little bit higher. Picks up tomorrow. No, today. No, tomorrow. Sorry. I keep thinking today's Friday. Wait, today is Friday. Like I said, I'm in a mood. So it's Friday. It picks up today. That's why there's some money on it. And it probably doesn't deliver till Monday. So you're looking at 150 miles. So if you live in Chantilly, PA, that might be a good load, right? Or near there. Go home under a load if you're going to go home anyways, right? I did a lot of loads like that. The extra day on the weekend didn't matter because I was delivering Monday, but it was in Springfield. So I get to spend 2 days at home. Monday morning, turn in a BOL, get paid for Tuesday for it. WCF Invader says Dan's Hotshot Trucking Outdoor Adventures. You need to do your own research and not go off what Alex put out. I want to see the badge footage. That will come out. A lot of these police agencies are doing that. Trucker Today newsletter put out an article today about Nebraska is the most dangerous state. That's where I'm at. Awesome. Heading out soon. Why is it dangerous? Did it say why? Was it a crime rate? Was it because you fall asleep while driving and hit the ditch? I mean, why is it the most dangerous state? I agree, Steve. Social media is killing our productivity. It is. Here I am, killing my productivity. I haven't seen any report saying the driver was unarmed, just that they have not said if he was armed or not. Okay. Be careful, Miss Shannon. Yeah, nothing like sitting in North Jersey traffic for 2 or 3 hours for $450 to sit there all day. Don't forget the tolls. Okay, I already did that. It already estimated the tolls. $1.50 loads with the truck payment, insurance, workman's comp, various health and dietary issues is asinine. So Nebraska shark attacks. And they have vicious drop bears now. So, all right. So let's look at some reefer freight, refrigerated, temperature controlled. See where look at Washington line up because the apples. Let's take a look at that. Ooh, check this out. $8,000. Wow, let's look at this load. Either this has got 28 stops or that is a typo. Or it's hazmat. $8,000 to go from Renton, Washington to Anaheim, California. Picks up Monday the 25th. I need to put a calendar over here. Oh, I actually do have a calendar over here. I'm kind of dumb. I have issues. I really do. I don't know if you guys know that or if I've said that in the past, but I have issues. My brain don't work. 1,100 miles for $8,000. I would be on that, depending on if that's real or not. So let's take a look at this one. Moses Lake, Washington to Fort Worth, Texas. 43.7 frozen food, frozen. So I haven't seen a load of apples yet. $5,000. So they're at 267 a mile. Of course, getting out of Texas, that's fun. Here's 6,400 to go to PA. 3,000 to go to Phoenix. 252 a mile. More frozen food. So reefer rates are definitely up because their asking rates are pretty high. It picks up today at 1. So a lot of last minute. See, here's the thing. They're trying to extend, like, man, if they're having trouble moving a load because of a rate, next thing you know, they're having to put some money on it. And you see that more often in the reefer game because it can't just sit on the dock for another week. It's got to go. Othello, Washington, the Front Royal VA for 6,300. 247 a mile. That's a good run. Picks up Sunday at 8:30. Delivers on the 29th, which is going to be Friday. So you'd be 6,300 for the whole week. Do not pay lumpers that are load. So it's probably Cisco, maybe. I think I've been there. New Snorelord t-shirt. I'm kind of dumb and I have issues. I do. I really do. I'm sorting a lot of things out in my head right now. So, all right, let's take a look at flatbed and step deck. Pacific Northwest. Oh, by the way, there's snow that's hitting the mountains there in the Pacific Northwest. It is time. So it begins. Let's take a look at Washington. What's coming out of there? What's the highest overall rate? 55.50 going from Washington to Staten Island, New York. Let's take a look at this load. £48,000. Let's see what the toll bill is on this one. $302 in tolls. So, how many miles is this? 29.68. So that's pretty much your week. And you're going to net, after fuel and tolls, you're going to net about 44 cents a mile. Now, out of that 44 cents a mile, you got to pay your insurance, you got to pay your truck payment, you got to pay, because remember, fuel and your percentage is already out of here, right? Fuel and percentage and tolls are already out on this profit calculator. If you've got your own authority, you're paying for your ELD, you're paying for all these different things. And then your food. How much food are you going to consume for the week that you're driving out there to Staten Island, New York? Wave at the Statue of Liberty. So, how many people can claim in this chat that that's a profitable load for you? So let's say let's say you own a truck and you're paying somebody a wage. Can you afford to pay that wage and do this run and pay yourself and pay the truck? You think about it, no. If you don't think about it, you're going to do this and you're going to be happy doing it. Rate per mile. Highest pay and load is $3,500 to go from Washington to Montana. $497 a mile. 48,000, actually 48-foot flatbed or step deck. 704 miles. 136-inch wide, so it is OD. So you got to look at your permits and all that stuff. Tacoma to Bozeman. Let's take a look at that one. Tarps, flatbed, 46,000. Edge protectors. They're way above the average. 333. Jeez, my eyes are screwed up. 377 a mile. But what are you going to get out of Bozeman? Well, according to this, not much. There's 9 loads, Montana, anywhere. You got stuff coming out of Butte, Columbia Falls, Hot Springs, Stevensville. They're all going to other areas, Idaho, Colorado. A couple are going to South Carolina. But here's Hot Springs, Montana to Bellevue, Idaho. 1,500 for 369 miles. So do that now before all the weather hits. Better have chains, though, for compliance. Whether you put them on or not, doesn't matter. A lot of stuff going to North Dakota, Montana, Boise. Highest paying stuff is going to other areas that are tough to get out of. As well it should be. Where I get upset is when I see loads that don't pay well that are going into bad areas. You're like, okay, how's that work? But that's the beauty of the spot market. If something is not to your liking, you can change. So anyways, 48065 if you're interested in trying out the 123 low board and all of its tools, which only is some that I share here because, again, I have issues and I'm not the brightest candle. So thanks for everybody for the super chats and the support. And thanks for the kind words of people of me selling my truck. So it's a big deal, but it's not a big deal, really. I mean, it's just once you get it sorted out, so once I get it sorted out, I'll be all right. I like Sterling. Montana's nice. You look at the big sky while pondering an 800-mile deadhead. Yep. So with that being said, Sterling. Hey, Sterling, give me a call after this live feed. I got to talk to you about something real quick. Or you can call me later. You're probably busy. Call me sometime in the next 24 hours. So with that being said, strength for today. Hope for tomorrow. Don't let my bad mood set you off. You're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So, with that being said, thanks for watching. Strength for today, hope for tomorrow. Aggression turns to screw. Peace.